This is Dreams for Society, and I am with Nora Barnard. I'm Lisa Hayes, your host, and Nora is a transformational coach, a Reiki master, and a beautiful light worker. I am going to allow Nora to share a few words with us about her journey and what she wants to tell us in regard to her gifts to this world right now.
Thank you so much, Lisa. And I want to thank you for having me on your Dreams for Society. It's just a real honor to be here with you today. And you've asked me a very important question, and it's often the same kind of question that I ask my clients when they come to see me. And I can say that there's really not a short answer. So I'll do my best to provide a few snippets of information that I'm hopeful can assist others who are on this journey.
Great. Awesome.
The first thing I would like to say is that I really didn't have a quote like overnight something happened to me and overnight I had this huge awakening, because that does happen to many people, which is fabulous. But in my case, it was about 25 years ago that I had somebody in my family who had died, and I was asleep, and in the middle of the night their spirit came to me and literally sat on the edge of my bed and woke me up and took me on a journey. Can you believe that?
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal.
So when they took me on this journey, they enabled me to know what it felt like to be one with all that is. And that feeling of elation and blissfulness is so powerful and so significant. And after that happened to me, my whole life changed in snippets, because I was in the corporate world at the time. And for many of others of you out there, there's a possibility that it's hard to reconcile being in the corporate world or being in the world in which you have been living in, and you have all these ways of being, and then all of a sudden you realize that there's so much more to everything than what you could have ever imagined. So that was my first experience with it all.
That is quite an experience, Nora. Now let's fast forward 25 years today. 2015, July 13, 2015. How do you feel today on your journey? What is it that you have in your life in terms of a gift that you feel passionate about, that you want to continue to share?
Thank you, Lisa. That's a great question. Well, as a result of that experience, I decided that it would be helpful to be able to assist others, all of you out there, when you came to this place in your life. I call it, really, it's a fork in the road, and you can continue living as you were, which is fine if that's your choice, or you can choose to become one with all that is. And that's such a cliche, but it's very powerful, because in order to become one with all that is, you have to acknowledge that you are a divine being. And in that I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. In that acknowledgement of wanting to have that discovery, it takes time. And so my role for others has been, for quite some time, I'll have a client come see me. They'll say, I know there's more to life than how I'm living it, or I'm going through a divorce, or I'm in grief because someone has died, or I'm depressed, you name it. We all have things that trigger us to look deeper into ourselves. And so I tend to attract those clients. They come to me, and then I help them with several things, one of them being what I call the BEST, or bioenergetic synchronization technique. I'll help a person be able to get their nervous system in a place of calm so that they can become in more awareness with those things that are impacting their health, their lifestyle, maybe the foods they eat. There's there's we could do a whole video on just that alone, so I'm not going to do that. But that's what I usually use at the beginning, and then talking with them to find out where they are and help them gently go from this path of how they always had operated into this path of discovery, understanding the spiritual path, understanding their divinity, because many of us were never taught when we were born, oh, by the way, you're such a divine being. Did you know that you're capable of doing all these amazing things? Oh, and guess what? It really doesn't matter what anybody thinks about you, right?
Right. I agree. I want to share with the viewers how Nora helped me back in '08, if you'll recall, Nora.
I do.
I had this huge rash, and I was in the middle of the legislative session working, and it was quite embarrassing to have this rash, on my neck and my chest. And I thought, I don't know what to do with this. And it was really before I started to remember more of what I already know. And ding-ling-ling, Nora, I think you told me a few months ago that you could do energy work. I'm not sure what that is, but I've got this rash. So I trotted down to her home, and you must have done the best method or some kind of Reiki. I'm not sure.
It's probably a combination.
It was phenomenal, and I'm here to tell you this stuff works. So thank you.
You're welcome.
So here we are on July 13, 2015, as I said earlier. Let's shift a minute to, this is Dreams for Society. And the template that Dreams for Society has is imagine, visualize, and create. Let's start with imagine. If you could imagine something that you're passionate about, and you see it today, and you're able to, in some form or fashion, be a co-creator to change that. What is it? Imagine what is it in this realm today, in this world today, July 13, 2015, that you see, that you're passionate about, that you think does not serve us, does not serve humanity, and you feel there's got to be a better way. What is it that you see could be changed to service? What is it that you feel, if I could ask this maybe a little bit better, you see today in this realm that doesn't serve us, that you're passionate about, that you would like some way to see a change? Do you know what that could be?
Well, Lisa, that's another really great question. And there are many things that I believe can be influenced and changed. But I'm going to focus on one thing in particular.
That's awesome.
I believe that each one of us has this innate capacity to just be authentically loving. If you're loving, you're authentic. And many of us have not been able to just be in that loving place because of things that have happened to them. And there's this beautiful story when I was becoming a best practitioner, and I'm going to share it real quickly because it's sort of the crux of what happens to many of us. And there's a child, and they're really proud of this incredible artwork, and they go and grab their mother and their father, and their heart is glowing. They've been in a place of creativity, and they go, "Mom, Dad, look at this beautiful piece of work. Look, they're so happy." And the parents pick the child up and beat them because the child has drawn their artwork on the wall with paint.
Okay. Yeah.
So what was gleeful and joyful and loving for the child now turns into what they taught us, and it stayed with me. I loved it. The child was bushwhacked. So that memory of having creativity and being in pure essence of love and authenticity now becomes a dangerous place for that child. And as they grow up into adulthood, that feeling of being creative, which is innate and natural to them, is always buffered by this experience of being whipped or chastised for being creative. So what I'm passionate about and have been since I started this practice of understanding how to help others and facilitate them from being on this journey of how they've always been, perhaps living in fear, living in chaos, or this is the way it's always been, this is how my mother, my father, my coworkers, whatever, this is how it's always been. Well, something happened to that person a long time ago, or maybe last week, that puts them into this place of fear. And it's a place where we call it your subconscious memory. It seems to hold all this information. No matter how hard in your mind you might try and forget something, your subconscious mind has this memory and it will override everything. And so what I'm passionate about and have been for a long time is helping people to clear out anything that may have happened to them before they arrived on earth, since their birth, or because of something that happened last week.
Yes.
That is what I'm very passionate about. And that enables people then to get on the road you and I have been on together, which has been amazing. And this road enables you to see how much more there is in the world besides this road where we've always been. And I'm going to go out on a limb, but for many, that road is fine, but it is a limited road compared to the incredible vastness of potentiality that is out there. Setting an intention and teaching clients and how to set an intention so that when you wake up, I'm not talking about, today's going to be a good day. It's nothing like that. It is a heartfelt intention, and you imagine how your day is going to go. You see things happening, and you are able to then co-create how your day is going to go. And that's very powerful. No matter what is going on in the world, you are able to create a place that you imagine. So for me, for example, on this day, you and I have done no scripting.
Right.
We're just
no
doing
scripting.
it.
I'm just going with the
We're
flow
just
here.
going with the flow because you and I both are in a place where we enjoy going with the flow.
Right.
And we've talked about it's beautiful, and we have each other as co-creators on this earth plane. We love talking and sharing. And what I do with you is my goal and purpose to do with as many people as I can on the planet.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so powerful. And one of the things I love to say is go with the flow and glow.
Yes.
And Nora and I have talked about that quite a bit, and I'll let the viewers think about that, ponder it, see what that means to you. So what I hear you saying, Nora, is you're imagining that we all can, in our own divinity, create with love, co-create with love, where there are no limits. And that is so powerful and so amazing. So let's sit with that, and let's fast forward to the year 2025, 20 years from now. And let's assume, for purposes of this hypothetical, that today, July 13, 2015, let's assume that all of the people co-creating in society, that 20% of us are remembering more and more how to create with love in an unlimited way. And that 20% of your clients get it. 20% of your family gets it. 20% of your friends get it. Let's visualize that 10 years from now, it's going to look different, that it will be different in a way that serves us better. Tell me what that looks like to you. Describe the year 2025. Tell me what it looks like.
I do believe, and all of you out there might think, oh, that's not right, but I really do believe that the world is going to change rather significantly towards the end of this year. And it will be very subtle yet very powerful.
Wow.
I believe at that time period, the way that we use our monetary system here and around the world, it's going to be very different. Because much of what we do, just a small example, things are done in exchange for, I give you this so you can give me that.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a cost to doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
But in the future, I believe that when we are living in this place, we will also open ourselves up to doing things that we can only dream about today. They might seem Star Trek-like.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we're in that place and when our society is in that place, we will be able to tap into knowledge and information that will benefit all of society. So there will not be a have and have-nots. There will not be dual societies. There will not be the caste system in India will disappear, for example. And our racial issues in America that we tend to just want to pretend don't exist, they will disappear, because all of these issues are a result of one group or one person having control over another. So there won't be control. There won't be what I would call, the exchange. The only thing that will be there is free knowledge, free information. And I use the word free because that's a word that we understand.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the future, and some people are doing this already, if they need information, they know how to use what I would call the library of the world. And they're able to tap into that library. It has infinite knowledge about every topic. So the schooling system's even going to change. Because right now, we have a rigid school system. Mm-hmm. It is not working. It is failing in America. We're the largest educated country in the world, and our educational system is failing because it's got to break before it can be fixed. So I'm going out on a leap of faith here.
Yes.
Because I do believe that potentiality, and there are a lot of books out about it right now, and not only those books, but just my internal knowledge, my internal way of thinking. I've seen it in action where I can imagine something that I would really like to have happen. And you were with me, by the way. I'm going to talk about the eagle.
Sure.
I'm going to talk about the
please,
eagle.
Yes.
I happened to be on a beautiful personal retreat, and there were some things that I wanted to see on that retreat. And a lot of things came to fruition. And the final thing that I had wanted to see was an eagle. I have not seen an eagle up close in my entire life. I've seen eagles from afar. And so I decided, you know what? I would really like to see an eagle while I'm on this little break. And lo and behold, Lisa pulled up to join me on that break. And I was in this beautiful cottage up in northern Michigan. And this eagle literally flew up to my window. You can't see where we are in the house, but literally from here to there, and flapped its wings and said hello. I saw every detail on that eagle. It was insane. and then I started
It was
screaming.
awesome. We were jumping up.
Lisa came in. We were jumping.
And I ran outside to try to get a picture of it. It was too far away. I got it, but it was too far away.
By the time Lisa ran back out, because she wanted to get it with her cell phone, it was like the eagle wanted to just say hello, and then it left.
Yeah.
But that's an example of how, in the future, we will be able to imagine something that we want, and it will manifest. But we're not ready just yet as a society, because many of us, including myself, and I'll be very honest here, if I get mad and I imagine just slapping someone because I'm angry, I don't want that to manifest.
Right.
So the universe has to, we're like rebirthing, and so the universe has to give us time to adjust. And you have to be, for now, I would think, in my way of thinking, I've got to be disciplined in what I want to have manifest.
Okay.
And there are things I don't fully understand, but that's where you have to really have faith.
And responsibility.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
You have to, my baby.
Thank you.
You have to have faith.
We've got our little Loki, who's a
Yes.
mystical kitty.
And she loves us both. But I do believe that potential is there, and as a society, as a world, so I'm speaking more than just America or you and I, everyone is going to have this opportunity to go on this new path And it's going to change everything that we know to be true now, our economic system, how we work, how we interact with each other. It's all going to change because the earth is changing.
Oh, that's so inspiring and so much to look forward to.
Absolutely.
Now, keeping with the template, and I know you've said this in so many words already. We've done imagine, visualize. How can you create with other co-creators this happening by the year or before 2025? How can we create this?
Wow, that's a great question. You're asking a lot of really good questions, and I would say the first and most important thing that we each need to do is to learn to connect with our spirit selves.
Yes.
And I am so dedicated to helping others that I've written a book.
Yes.
And that entire book was...
Tell the audience what that book is and where they can get it.
Okay. The book is called Beautiful Breath for Beginners.
Beautiful.
And the reason the book is called that is it is for beginners, because people go, well, how do I do that? What is my spirit self? I don't know what you're talking about. What is that? What does that mean? Well, quite honestly, it's very easy, but because we've not been taught, it becomes very frightening, confusing. For some people, it might even be like against their quote religion, and that's okay because that's what we've been taught. But in order to feel this connectedness and understand the power of this field of potentiality, the word that I'm going to use is just being grounded. And so the book that I've written teaches people how to get grounded so that they can experience what it feels like to be united with their spirit selves and to be united with what I call source energy, because source energy is a word, and I like the word, that will include all faiths. So some people may feel that they want to be connected to Jesus Christ, which is great. I love Jesus, and so I'm very happy to include that in my meditations. I invite Jesus to come in. Other people, it might be Buddha. Other people, it might be Krishna. For other people, it might be Muhammad. It doesn't really matter what your belief system is. It doesn't matter. What does matter is that you call upon Source, the creator of all things. The creator of all things is the creator of all things. And so when you learn to be grounded with the Mother Earth, and you learn to be grounded with Father Sky, or all of creation, you will begin to infuse your body with more light. And I talk about that in the book. And the more infused you are with the understanding of your light body, the more you manifest, and the more you are a co-creator, and the more you feel good. You feel healthier, you can see better, you can hear better. If you have any kind of an issue, digestive issues, they get better, because as your body becomes more infused with the light, your body holds a higher frequency. It's a vibration, and that vibration will then begin to bring to you other like-minded, like you. Lisa and I are very dear friends, and we have a group of new friends that we have made that are walking this path. And even though the path may seem small at times, it's getting bigger and bigger as more people learn to be in this awareness. So meditation, and that's why I wrote the book. And I, believe it or not, breathing. It's all about breathing. And I was meditating and prompted to go jump to my computer, and I wrote the book in 3 hours.
Now that is going with the flow and glowing.
Yes. So I did exactly that. And so you develop evidence. You get evidence. It's proof that this really does work, and you get excited. And so the more often you get proof of what you know to be true, the more excited you are about becoming more infused with the light, more desirous to be a light to others without thinking. It's like you and I never go in a room and go, oh, we're going to be a light to these people. That is so crazy. That is certainly not what I'm talking about. It is just by being you.
Right. Authentically.
Being you authentically,
yes.
and speaking authentically, and it shifts your relationships. It's just amazing. So the book is about that. And so that is, your question was like, okay, well, what can people do? And I was like, oh my gosh, my book is fantastic.
How can we get there?
Yes, how do you start?
Well, where can the viewers get your book?
The book it's not out just yet. It's going to be out very soon. So, but if you were
The
to
title?
do a search,
The title?
Yes, Beautiful Breath for Beginners.
Yes.
And it's under my name, Nora Gonzalez Barnard. It's going to be
Will you
available.
spell that for
I'm
the
sorry,
viewers?
sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's a good point, because my name is unusual.
We'll probably have this as with the video, more information about our website as well. But Nora, Nora.
Yes, and then Gonzalez is Gonzalez, and then Barnard is Barnard.
Thank you.
But if you do a search on Amazon.com, it's going to be available both in paperback and for your Kindle or for your possibly audiobook. I may be doing audio
Fantastic.
because I want to help people literally with my own breath to teach them. And I have found that when two or more people are together, and if I'm one of the people that's together with you via an audio, it will help you on your journey. And because this journey, I'm going to be honest, this journey in the beginning can be very interesting, can be very joyful, and at the same time, thank you. And Lisa, why don't you talk about that for our viewers, how challenging it can be when you first get going?
Challenging. I like to use the word challenging rather than problems.
Yes.
I think, one of the things that's so beautiful about your book, and I've used that meditation, the breath work, so fantastic. If we're not breathing, we're not really alive, are we?
Right.
And so when we have a challenging situation that comes up in every, potentially every moment of our daily life, right? We can utilize portions of her breathing techniques to ground us, to bring in, to infuse the light in that moment, to help us through that challenge. So I love it as what I like to call alchemy tools. I love it as an alchemy tool to help me get through a challenging situation so I don't wallow in the frustration feeling, so that I can shift into the feeling of support or feeling of acceptance. That's what I love about your tool that you're providing. And I love that you brought that up as a way, the how, to get us to your imagination, your vision. Imagine, visualize, and create. Anything else you would like to add about how we can get there?
Well, what I like to say is that,
or are we already here with it, sitting in it? We just want it revealed to us.
That's a very good way to say it is already available to anyone and everyone. You don't have to be a best practitioner. You don't have to be a psychiatrist, psychologist, hypnotherapist. You don't have to be anyone. You just have to be you. And that self-discovery is huge.
Yes.
There used to be a time when I would do whatever my doctor told me. I don't do that anymore. I'm not saying you shouldn't listen to your doctor. I'm saying that for you, now I go inside and I follow my intuition, and I use kinesiology, and that's where you just do muscle testing to confirm, am I really supposed to be eating this food, for example? Like I might, for example, I used to love bananas. I don't eat them anymore. Bananas aren't good for me. And I found out through kinesiology that, even though bananas taste great and they're high in potassium, they're also loaded with tons of carbs. And so I can't eat that many carbs.
Yeah.
And your body, you out there, is unique to you.
Right.
You may do better eating this food or not that food, or maybe you're not sure, but I can tell you with certainty that if you're not feeling well, there's a really good chance you're eating something that your body does not like. And your body is unique to you. My body is unique to me. Lisa's is to her. She might be able to eat 3 bananas a day and it makes her feel fantastic.
I do eat about 2 a day.
So everybody is different. So what is good for one is not necessarily good for another. However, the basis is the same. You know, honor your body, honor your thoughts. And people out there may say, oh my gosh, you don't know my sister. At least I can really laugh about that one.
Yeah.
Or you don't know about my ex.
Right.
Well, all of those things happen to us. They're knocks on our souls, on our doors, on our spiritual life, so that we can begin to discover who we really are. And that would never happen if we didn't have challenges. So the challenges are really the universe's way of helping us to awaken up to our own divinity. And that's a very powerful thing. Instead of being a victim, instead it's, oh my gosh, I have choices to make up here. And I want to thank the universe for bringing this challenge to me. And I can now begin to co-create and go down this new path. And now I have my divinity on my side. And oh my gosh, not only do I have my divinity, I have all of creation on my side.
Ah, so beautiful. And rather than having to wait for a rescuer or wait until the year 2025, we can claim our own divinity, our own power within us. We are who we're waiting for. We've heard this a lot. It's an old cliche now. We are who we're waiting for, and now is the time.
Yes, I would agree. It's very exciting. Look at us smiling.
It's so powerful. It's so empowering, Nora. It's so exciting. I have chills all over me. I want to thank you so much, and thank you to the viewers for listening to us today. This has been an awesome creation, a co-creation of imagine, visualize, and create right now what we want.
Absolutely.
Perfect what we want.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Nora.